Hey there. Welcome to Teaching for Life. I'm Sarah. And if you've been here before, thanks for coming back. And if you're new, so glad that you're here. I've posted a few videos already, but I think it's time for a little introduction to this channel. I'm so excited to have you here joining me as I share this journey of me making this transition from teaching junior high for 15 years to now teaching in college for, well, 5 years full time, but 10 plus, because I was teaching part-time for a number of years. So I made a huge leap in my career to leave my classroom teaching junior high to teaching higher education in a completely different part of the country. I grew up teaching in Chicago or Chicagoland, so outside of Chicago, my whole life. That's where I grew up. That's who I knew, that's who I was, and I identified so much with being a Illinois girl. I came from a huge family of 7 sisters and 3 brothers. My father was an educator for a number of years before he changed jobs and careers as well. And I just have met so many teachers who have started teaching and decided it wasn't for them and they left, and other teachers who just got so burned out. And for me, this was about changing jobs to keep my teaching life alive. And so I started this channel to think about teaching for life. Not that for life is like a sentence. That's not what I mean at all. But teaching so that for life, for your life, so it can be vivacious and joyful and enriching and sustainable rather than, the alternative, which is burned out and giving up and feeling like you're white knuckling your way through every semester, which I still do and I haven't completely figured out, but I want to talk about those things here. And I think also about the decisions that I made that made this opportunity to change from junior high into higher ed possible, and how even though I started this journey probably 10 years before I made the change, it allowed me to sustain my career a little bit longer when I potentially would have quit, unfortunately. So needless to say, this was a major shift with a significant pay cut and a whole new cultural landscape to navigate. And teaching myself how to transition from K-12 to higher education was no small feat, and by no means do I have this figured out. I learned the ropes of a new teaching context just at the beginning of COVID when that was starting to get up to speed with publishing and understanding the service expectations at a university. It was a really steep learning curve, but I did it, and now I want to share everything that I learned with you if you're interested. So on this channel, I create weekly videos. Right now, my plan is to post them on Fridays that you can listen to on your way to work or whatever else you're doing in your life if you're have the morning off perhaps. And I want you to share these videos with other teachers who also might be thinking about making a career change or extending or stretching their current career from K-12 into higher education. We're going to cover everything that you need to know, from understanding the fundamental differences between these two professions or these two contexts, um, such as the new learning environment and practical tips about scheduling your life effectively, your work and your life, those kind of things. Dressing for success in a university setting, mastering public presentations. Gosh, I will say to you that I had no idea that this meant I would have to be and do so much public speaking. The PhD program itself, I thought I was just going to become a student and to get a PhD and learn a bunch of stuff. But this is really a whole professional identity for me anyway, because it was sharing all the things that I learned. And in order to do that, I had to publish papers and articles and journals and present at conferences and online and these different things. And I am I am 100% an introvert. I really enjoy my alone time. This is when I'm energized. I could be alone for days and hours, and let me tell you, I will. I will be. And if my spouse knocks on the door and says, "You haven't eaten anything and you haven't drank anything, and when was the last time you even went to the bathroom?" Like all those different things. I am an introvert. I live in my head. So all of this sort of external things that come with a PhD and presenting and doing research, and in many ways, you're becoming sort of an academic figure. I'm figuring that out, and I want to share a little bit of that journey with you as well. And one of the really exciting things that's happening now as I'm moving from assistant professor to associate professor is that there's a sabbatical. And a sabbatical is kind of what you think and kind of not what you think, because you get a year, you can get a year off work, and um, but it's actually working in a different kind of capacity for personal and professional growth. So I want to tell you all about that because I'm about to begin that journey, and I'm going to take you through that every step of the way. And there's some exciting things happening there too. And so for those of you, who are passionate about teaching English language arts or passionate about teaching, I'm also going to cover you as well with some tips and content ideas related to reading and writing and young adult literature and curriculum design and professional development opportunities to stay connected. I really believe that every teacher should have the opportunity to stay in education as long as they want to and not feel forced out or just at their wits' end having to abandon ship because they don't know what else to do. And so we don't want to get there. I was there. I was fortunate enough to have some support that helped me find a way to sustain my career a little bit longer. And that meant a PhD for me. And then when that again got to its end of that thread, I had an opportunity to change jobs into a different institution going into higher education. So there are opportunities and pathways, and I really just want to share that with you on this channel. So, gosh, what else? So the teachers, I love you. You have so much to offer throughout your entire career, whether you're an early career teacher, mid, a really experienced teacher, and a retired teacher, educator. Sometimes just a change of scenery or new opportunity is all that you need to rekindle your passion and reach just a state of joy and rejuvenation. And actually, a friend of mine said, you don't want to always be just surviving, you want to thrive. And I think that's the key, that you can do that at any stage of your career. And there are places and opportunities to do that. And I have lots of examples to prove it. So I want to share that with you here. So join me on this journey. Maybe you haven't already, but if you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any updates or new videos. And let's explore together how you can pursue a teaching life, your well-being that you really want. And so I'm here to share these insights with you and my professional journey in the hopes that you find inspiration and you find practical advice to make your transition smoother, or wherever you are now, a little bit more joyful. So thank you so much for watching today. And if you've been watching the channel, thanks for your support. I can't wait to get started with you. Welcome to the community. If you ever feel like you want to give back, I know this is a difficult thing, is like to take things from people and not feel like you're reciprocating. There are other ways that you can do it. I'm going to invite you to write with me sometimes, to read with me, to join book groups with me. But you can also just buy me a cup of coffee. And there's a link in the details below how you can just buy me a cup of coffee. And if that will make you feel better, I'll be sipping the coffee with you, or we can have a Zoom call or something in that way as well. So let's make this journey amazing together.